Let's hear on take you, hallucinatives. Removing stress in from the mind, them type of thoughts are basic. You ain't aligned with what I'm saying, then you
Welcome to the Sabrosa podcast. I'm Steph, your host. I'm here with Ki.
What's going on? Seven Tribes shit, you know what I'm saying?
Seven Tribes, Low Down Lords, aka. Well, I'm excited about today's podcast because ever since Once Upon a Time I did listen to Seven Tribes, so it's like this moment is kind of like full circle. How are you?
I'm chilling. I've been good, working, creating.
Working. I'm tapped in. I see that you're working on your own stuff as well as things with Seven Tribes again. I think it's pretty dope that you started 9 years ago. I think it's like 10 years coming up, right? Is it?
Yeah, I mean, it's been like 10 years since we linked and gathered and started putting out, I guess recording, and then we put out a record. But then for the project, it'd be 9 years. So it's 9 years since we dropped Seeking Balance. 10 years since we've been together as a group.
Yeah, I did my due diligence researching everything, and I went on your YouTube and I saw 10 years ago, 9 years ago, you've been working for mad long, like respect.
Non-stop.
I definitely want to give you your flowers because that's like respect right there. So I definitely want to let you know that off rip, I respect the fact that you just you're consistently putting things out, and I think that's super cool. And I want to give you your flowers while you're here. Is it okay if we get, we're going to take a walk down memory lane right now, right? So we're going to start from the beginning, and then we're just going to, migrate into what you got going on now.
All right, that's fine.
All right, cool. So, as going back, what I noticed was, at that time, 9-10 years ago, you were, creating music with all your friends, right? It was, a group of friends that were all rapping together, and you guys were kind of all doing your own thing.
For the most part, I would say that.
And then you came together?
I would say, some of us knew each other and others didn't. Siva's Eric's brother. I didn't know Siva. I met Siva through Eric as we already had started making music and already had the ideas going on. Me, Live Higher, Ralph Bakes. He used to go as Do-Rag, now he's Ralph Bakes. Above. We kind of all went to school together for the most part. You know what I'm saying? So Cass was a lot younger. Cass and B-Her, they were younger. So it was through 6 degrees of separation, I guess. We all knew each other through other people.
Yeah, and you guys kind of just came together.
Had, I guess, a lot of similarities and a lot of the same feelings towards the world, life, and where we were at the time. So we really related to each other, and we linked together, and we did something major, to be honest.
That's exactly, I want to pause right there because I do want to talk about how you, at that young age, you guys were building a movement. You guys were starting a unity type of thing that wasn't seen out here. You know what I mean? That.
I will say, though, that I was, inspired by, a lot of other cats that was local that was also doing shit. I watched Neo MCs. They were making T-shirts. They were printing T-shirts, and they had barcodes on their CDs, and their CDs were in stores. And they were just... There's a cat that lived down the block from me on 13th Street. You know what I'm saying? But Above was also part of that crew. So eventually, over time, I ended up working with Above. It's kind of brings that type of thing full circle, too. But I learned a lot from watching the older cats do what they were doing. You know what I'm saying? And I just all right, cool. We just got to apply shit differently.
Exactly. So I did notice that you do your own merch, and I did see mostly every single video that you dropped on YouTube, and I did notice in one of the videos you were pressing your own T-shirts. I think all of that stuff is cool because most people, they outsource all that stuff. So the fact that you put in that work and you put in that effort and you're actually physically making this stuff, I think that's the extra step that most people won't go.
I say that a lot of that shit came from a lot of people denying services, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people denied the services that they provided to other people, and I guess they maybe didn't believe in what we was doing or didn't fuck with us as people. I don't know what it was, but they didn't give us that outlet to be able to utilize their sources for us to be able to do shit. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll just do it myself. And that was always the outlook with everything that I do. So self-sufficiency.
Was it difficult, performing with so many people and like putting yourselves out there as a group? Like, was it hard at the time? Like, because I feel like hip hop out here, like it is a big thing, but I feel like sometimes people are skeptical to like allow us to like have hip hop shows in certain venues and stuff like that. So I feel like as a group, like when you guys wanted to put your music out, did you face like difficult situations or
We
everyone was just
faced all the
fucking?
difficult situations. We faced all the difficult situations, and now it's easy for everybody to get shows out here. To be honest with you, I started throwing my own shows. I had to throw my own events, my own shows. You know, we was booking ourselves, throwing our own listening parties. Even with Above, like I had to convince him to start recording us. You know what I'm saying? Because in the beginning he was recording other people and he didn't even see the vision at first. So we fought through a lot of barriers, fighting with the city to do shows. Venues not wanting to deal with hip hop acts because of like past acts prior to my generation of people where there was violence and people fighting and getting shot or killed or like all types of weird shit that happened at an event. But that's not just limited to a hip hop event. But they would blame everything on us on hip hop.
Yeah,
So
they're like,
we had
oh,
to fight through that, and it was a little different because we were coming. We weren't talking about shooting up the block. We wasn't talking about selling drugs. We wasn't talking about none of that. We was talking about like mental elevation, spiritual elevation. Talking about trying to like get your mind right, and it got us, I guess, easier to get into certain venues. Even though we still had to fight to get into the venues, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But it's all good. We broke open crazy doors, you know what I'm
I
saying?
feel like exactly like I feel that in a way you all broke barriers for everyone else and like you kind of like paved the way and kind of like showed younger people to like it's okay to express yourself because like for example one of your songs like you put out in 2020 the Sirens.
Yeah.
There you speak a lot about like I feel like you could correct me if I'm wrong like the political climate at the time and what's going on and I felt the vibe of like you know like we have to you know like speak up speak out like think with your mind not with like don't believe everything you see you feel what I'm saying and you guys are like I liked it. I think it was dope. The
See,
visuals are dope
that
too.
whole thing was based on like what was happening on the world. To be honest, I had an idea. I had dropped Clear Sight. It was a project, and then after Clear Sight, I had something planned, but pandemic happened, and I was looking at the world and watching news and looking at how people were reacting in reality, and I was just like, all right, cool. I gotta do something else because it's getting hectic out here. I don't think people really understand what's going on. So that's usually what we do. I like to speak to the people and like give some type of reassurance that shit's gonna be straight as long as we keep ourselves right. So that's what that was. It was like don't panic. I named the project Don't Panic while everybody was panicking. Sirens was like, you know, they use these sirens to manipulate our psyches in a way, you know what I'm trying to say? When you hear the sirens outside, you automatically get nervous or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's true.
I know I do. I'm like, oh,
Yeah,
oh shit,
you're
what's
like, what's
that? It's
going
like
on?
it's a panic that happens to your
Yeah.
body. That shit is not by mistake. That's like hurting sheep or cattle. You know what I'm trying to say? So it's like, with that being said, I was trying to let people know like, you hear the sirens. I know you hear the sirens, but fuck the sirens. You know what I'm saying?
Fuck
It
the
doesn't matter
noise.
what they're trying to do. Clear your mind, clear your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Don't take their information from their sources and think that it's always correct. There's a lot of other ways to get your information, and you gotta do it on your own. You can't just rely on the people who don't want to see you doing good to give you the information to do good.
Yeah, it's all about perspective. I feel like if more people were to change like their perspective on the way that they think about like their everyday life, like the world could be better. But that's just me.
It'd be less panic if
Less.
everybody was practicing preventative maintenance and like getting ready for just in case something happens. You know what I'm saying? Just learning skills and things that you need to know as a human being, as a person, to sustain yourself, your life, your family. You know what I'm saying? Morals and values and other things like that. Growing food, but things that people don't really want to even hear or talk about. But
Of course, that's a conversation for another day. But it is what it is. It is what it is. How's like your work life balance? Like you're like making music and like family or close friends or everyone's like in just the realm that you're in.
wait, what do you mean? Say that again.
Like your work life balance, like how do you balance like you know doing what you gotta do and then also like creating your music and do you know like creating and living life.
I'm not gonna lie. I kind of submerge
You
myself in my art like crazy a lot. So besides this, is pretty much my life, and everybody involved in my life knows that. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's my lady or I have a son. So my son knows what I do. My son's mother knows what I do, and it all coincides together anyway. So I don't have too much trouble trying to get my. I don't. This not even work for me. It's my life. Like trying to do this and create and be expressive is not so much of a problem with interfering with my like just average like being sitting back in my regular life taking care of my responsibilities, bills, my child, things like that, my relationship.
respect.
I try to balance it out.
We balance.
It's not too crazy.
We celebrate dads on the Sabrosa podcast because I feel like dads should be celebrated. So I think it's super cool that you're a dad and you also do music and you also do what you gotta do. So kudos to you.
Yo, thank you.
I have a random question that I always wanted to ask you. Do you make your own beats? Like, do you make beats too?
Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
practicing.
Yeah.
I just asked Carlos to help me.
I like it. I just like want to ask a random
To
question.
be honest, nah, yeah, I have a couple beats on my new project that I made, like 2 or 3.
Why did you cut your hair? Why you took the locks off? That's another question.
Change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this like
I've
part
had-
of like a rebrand type thing? Like what?
Not
Or
really.
you
man.
just
This
want to
isn't-
change your hair?
Nah, yeah,
I like your hair
just
too,
needed
by
a
the way.
haircut.
The blonde.
I
is
have
cool.
had my hair long since I was like in 8th grade.
Yeah.
So like that's a lot of years. You know, some new, some change, new energy.
New energy, new vibes. Um. All right. So I have a question for you that I go through. So I'm wondering like if other people go through it. Like, do you feel like sometimes like it's hard to like stay positive? Like when we're like trying to make new like create something new like we are our own worst critics, right? So I feel like do you ever find yourself in a space where you're like, yo, it's not good enough, it's not good enough, it's not
All
good
the
enough,
time.
and then sometimes you think about it and you're like, yo, it is good, like, and then you're
All the
like
time.
bouncing back and forth.
I will tell you,
Does that make sense?
I'm a bad critic. I criticize myself crazy. So
Yeah.
I have to show other people to get a second opinion all the time.
Yeah, right, me too. I'm like
Nah,
that.
yeah, for real. I'm like, and sometimes I'll take a break from listening to my own music or like whatever I'm doing, and I'll sit back. Then I'll go back to it later, and I hear it, and I'm like, oh, this wasn't as. I thought it was worse than this, and it's not. It's great. It sounds great. Like, you know what I mean, but just the overthinking of the situation of the music of the words, because I really don't like to waste words either. I don't like to waste time. I don't like to waste energy. I'm like, yo, I gotta
Yeah.
make sure that this is powerful. I gotta make sure that I'm saying the right thing. You know what I'm saying?
And that's another thing that I do want to hit. Like I notice in your music, like you're a very conscious thinker. Like you're not talking about bullshit. Like you're actually like in a lot, some of your songs, you're talking about things that you've gone through, right? And then
Most
some
of the time.
most of the time, right? But I feel like there's always a message. Like you're always like talking about like the third eye and like, and
I feel like there's a message in everything. There's a message in
Yeah.
regular life. You know what I'm saying? Because most of the time, I'm not really. I say stories from my life as examples, and you can make your own opinion out of it and get your own jewels out of that, whatever. But I feel like everybody has stories that we can pick jewels out of. You know what I'm saying? And learn better for the next time for yourself. So I'm just trying to share stories and share my opinions, things I've been through, so that other people could be like, oh, word, and he still got here, or this got done, and you know, you can still strive and do more and get better, or do better and be a better person, no matter what has happened or what you've been through or what you have done or what have people done to you, things like that. So you know what I'm saying?
yeah, there's always like room for improvement. There's like always room to like practice.
That I feel like that's
practice
what
makes
my life
perfect,
is
right?
about. I feel like I'm always constantly searching for improvement.
Exactly. I feel
Everything.
like that's the
That's
only way we're gonna get better.
Ain't nobody perfect. I was just talking about
Facts.
this.
All human.
It's like I'm not perfect. I have ideas, I have concepts, I have thoughts, but I'm a human being too, and you know we all make mistakes. So being conscious of that and being open to that and embracing that for everybody, not being like one sided about it too.
Yeah, being
Whether
open
it's
to
an
other
artist,
people's
whether it's your
interests.
family, your friend, your girl, your mother, shit like that.
Do you consider yourself like a visionary person?
I don't
Visionary?
consider myself anything.
No.
I'm like everybody else. Everybody's doing the same thing. I just like to talk about it and express it.
That's deep. That's deeper than you think. Well, guys, I'm just gonna leave that right there because we're gonna go into the next segment. We're gonna go and listen to the Key's new song, Hallucinatives.
Yeah, hallucinators.
You guys enjoy it. We'll be right back, okay?
Yeah, what? Check it. Seven tribes, seven tribes, seven tribes. This here on take you hallucinatives, removing stressing from the mind. Them type of thoughts are basic. You ain't aligned with what I'm saying, then you might be agents, and we don't like invaders. I'm finna light this sage up or realign your facial features if you try to play us. Shit, I've been working on duality to calm my patience. You know the mind be racing, that's why it's meditation. Because if not, then my reaction I gon' be the greatest. And that's to say less, need I say more? I light this weed up, zingers in the back where I roll. I got my feet up, certain type of comfort I know. Give me a reason. Your image, heat press on the shirt. It's best to play it wise. Been ill advised, best to shift your pride. We only wanna live a life of peace, but still this war's a fight agenda hidden. You moving weird, the way you act is sus, man.
Welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed that.
Word up, word up.
Hope you guys enjoyed that.
Back live and direct.
You had a birthday recently.
Yeah, I did. July 26th.
How was your birthday?
I spent my birthday on the beach.
That's good.
Yeah. I relaxed, I laid down, and I chilled on the beach the whole day. And
That's
I shut my
what's up.
phone off.
That's
So I
the
didn't talk
best.
to nobody. When I came back, I rented a room, I took a shower, got dressed, smoked a blunt, ate, and laid down.
That sounds like a good birthday, honestly.
Word.
Nowadays,
To be
like,
honest.
turned down.
I was like, yo. And when I got back, I started hitting back everybody back up that called me, text me
Yeah.
and shit like that. I was like, yo,
You
what's
feel
good,
like
yo?
they probably thought, like, yo, did he drop them off the face of the
Nah, it was a good time. I was just like reflecting on life, to be honest with you. I was just thinking about the world, my life, where I'm at, what I want to do next, and shit like that, and thinking about like making progressive steps to like change things that I don't like about myself.
Okay. Well, that's good that we're right there because my next question was, like, where are you headed to now? Like, where's Key headed to now? Like, what's next for you?
A lot, to be honest. I feel like I just started life. To be like everything I did before this was like practice and a warm up to what I'm about to do. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
have more like visual arts in mind. I also want to like invest more time and energy creatively with my son to create his shit because he has artwork. He got like sculptures, clay sculptures he's fucking with, and he just overall wants to tap in with the art. So I'm trying to get him involved in any way that I can. So I'm gonna focus on his shit, focus on mine, focus on Seven Tribes, and doing more next level art for me, in my opinion. You know, more growth towards my art where it's not so juvenile.
Yeah. Like, take it to the next level.
As a man and
Yeah.
as a human being, you know what I'm saying, to try to like step up and do more.
Yeah, because it's really all about the future, and it's all like the future is the next generation. That is, it's funny that you say that because recently my nephew, he's 15, and he told me like, oh, I'm trying to get into videos. Like, I want to learn how to
Now,
do
word.
videos, right? And I was like, okay, so, all right, let's get you a camera, let's get you a
Facts.
computer, let's.
Gotta invest
And
into
he
that.
looked at me like I had 5 heads, like he couldn't believe it. And then
That's fire. I wish I had that when I was coming up.
Me
That's the
too.
reason why I started printing my own shirts, like we said before, or like getting studio equipment to record myself, or throwing my own events because nobody wanted to book the, you know what I'm saying, the brothers
Yeah.
and the homies. It's like, all right, cool. Since nobody wants to fuck with us, we're gonna do it ourselves because we fuck with us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And being self-sufficient and independent and being able to do things on our own without anybody restricting us or stopping us from doing whatever it is that we want to do. That was the whole goal. That's the whole point. Even with Seven Tribes, it's like it's healing, spiritual healing, mental healing, physically getting up and making things happen. You know what I'm saying? Taking accountability for shit and responsibility, and really putting things into effect that you learn, putting knowledge into effect.
Yeah, I like the fact that you talk about accountability because I feel like nowadays that's not something that's very common. It's like I feel like audacity is at an all-time high, and I feel like a lot of people point the finger the other way and they don't like to take accountability.
But we
so,
can't keep pointing the finger at nobody else because really in every situation, every problem is like if you're feeding into an issue, that's your problem. Like it really be us. yourself really stopping you from doing something or feeling some type of way about something that you don't have to put energy towards and shit like that. It's like, all right, cool. Take full control of your emotions and your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? Try to think more logically about things. And, spread your love the way you know how to do it. That shit comes naturally. It shouldn't have to be something you got to think about when it comes to love.
Yeah, but sometimes emotions get in the
But you
middle of,
see,
you
emotions and
know.
love, that's not what I mean. I mean, love, like being emotional towards shit and not logical towards things, it changes the situation. You know what I'm saying? When
Yeah,
I'm talking about love, it's like I care about you.
yeah,
So, like, there's no other way to look at it. I care about you. I love you. That's like, you know what I'm saying?
that's wholeheartedly right there. That's real. Like, there's just, there's levels, new devils. But I feel like as long as everybody stays consistent and everybody stays in their own lane, there's room in the game for everybody. I feel like there's room for everybody. So that's
We're
just
not
how I
playing
feel.
no game, though. We're not playing no game. This is like real life shit. So, like, there's those that are playing the game, and then there's those that are like really living and maneuvering in a way that's beneficial for humanity. You know what I'm saying? Then the
Yeah,
ones that's playing the games, they the ones that's controlled. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to like what it is that you're really doing, what is it that you're really thinking about, why are you saying what you're saying to somebody else? Are you scared to say what you really want to say because you're scared of the repercussions, or does somebody control you because you signed paperwork like contracts where it say that you can't do this or you can't do that? There's a lot of things that go into that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. Nothing is really what it seems. Like there's a lot of things that
I feel
makes.
unrestricted. I could do whatever I want right now at any moment, at any time. And the value of my art goes up depending on how I want it to go up. You know what I'm saying? I'm in control of that. And a lot of people can't even control their own future or their own destiny at all because they're locked down into situations that they didn't realize they were going to be locked down into because they're searching for something that's not even realistic.
It's true. Like there's a lot of things that I see on TV, on Instagram, on social media, whatever, what have you, and I'm just like, that looks fake. Like that
It's
looks
all fake.
orchestrated. So
It's all act. Like what we doing right now, this is far from act. We just chilling. We met.
yeah,
We talking.
real talk.
The FDA or whatever the fuck, whoever's gonna come and nobody's gonna come and censor this shit unless you put it on YouTube and then they don't like what we're saying and they're like, "Man,
Yeah,
cancel, put the video down." You know what I'm trying to say?
yeah,
But some people can't even speak. They're not allowed to speak or they're not allowed to do certain things. They're like, you know what I'm saying?
because they're like bound by paperwork.
Exactly.
Because somebody controls like their name and stuff like that. It's kind of sick. Actually, recently, this the Cuban Lust thing that was going viral and stuff, like World Star
Explain
owns.
to me because I don't.
Okay, so let me tell you. So, there's this the first Instagram model to ever exist, like before Instagram. Her name was Cubana Lust. Like she came out on World Star back like
I
two
don't
thousand and
remember.
seven. Well, anyway, the owner of World Star, which he's now passed away, he owned her name, so she became like
He owned her name. How?
yeah. So
Wait,
so
how does a man own another
she
woman? I get
signed.
it. I get it. But still,
Yeah.
just think about the concept. But go continue.
So she had a website, right? So she had taken all these, like bikini pictures and all this,
Yeah,
provocative
yeah.
pictures because she was like a video vixen. And, she would charge for like the posters.
Uh huh.
So he would make 2,000 or more a month off of her. And she wouldn't see none of that money. And now she's resurfaced, like strung out on drugs, in like mugshots and stuff, like not even looking like herself. So it's just that's how deep it could go, like somebody just taking ownership of you and you have no control.
I feel like that happens to a lot of people. A
That's
lot
like
of
worst
people.
case scenario.
But that's because those usually when it happens, those people are usually chasing something specific, right?
Mm-hmm.
That path that they're chasing and they walk down, that happens to everybody who walks down that path.
Yeah.
But that says to close that path off and don't walk down that path. Stop walking that way. Stop acting like those people. Stop thinking like those people. Stop listening to what those people say and do. Like clearly these people don't have nothing figured out. You know what I'm trying to say? And there's people right now that are gonna continue to do things like that, have the perception and mentality, and continue to think like that, live like that, talk like that, breathe like that, and you know what's gonna happen.
It's
You
true.
know what I'm saying? To be honest, and it's like drugs, what is drugs, money, sex, That shit is basic shit. Like, motherfucker, you learn that shit in kindergarten, first grade. Like, don't do drugs. Yo, don't. You don't got. You gonna be a prostitute? Like, bro, figure it out. There's more value. Put value on yourself. Where's the value?
Yep. And that's a big one right there, because there's a lot of people that determine their value of how others see them, and that's not, I feel like we should value ourselves. Like, we should put ourselves at a high standard, you know what I'm saying? Like, we are our own worst critics, but I feel like if people more focus on like bettering themselves as a person instead of like the outside looking in. Well, social media is like a whole nother subject because it kind of like ruined reality, obviously.
And people are addicted to all
People,
of it. They're addicted to social
yo,
media.
Key,
They're addicted to drugs. They're addicted
it's
to fame.
crazy.
They're addicted to lifestyles and living a certain way. Pardon.
No, you good.
But all of those things, those are all the things that drive them crazy and make
But
people feel the way they feel and think the way they think.
it's just insane. Like, I feel like nowadays you can't even have a conversation with like somebody of a certain notoriety. Sometimes, not all the time. If you don't have like a certain amount of followers, or if you don't have a certain amount of this, a certain amount of that, like it's all like you have to have this. It's like a prerequisites. Like, it's like not reality. Like, yo, like we're humans. We can't just have a conversation. Why I gotta have all this stuff before you even talk to me? Like,
I mean, it doesn't matter, yo. I'm not even interested in talking to
That's
people
crazy.
that are interested
Yeah.
in that shit.
So
To be honest, we
It's just a
we
weird
doing
one.
our own thing. We got our own
Yeah.
shit going on, and like I said, self sufficiency, independence. We're gonna do it our way. If we're gonna sign any contracts and do business with other people, we gotta be partners together to make shit happen
that's
for the
definitely
benefit of the team, the family, and everybody. Not for some other one guy that I don't know to feed other people. We're not doing that.
that's definitely something that I wanted to ask
We're
you.
feeding our own people.
Given the right circumstance, like the perfect contract, like you have control over all your stuff. You get your money. You're getting a good fair share. Everybody wins type energy. Would you sign, or would you just choose to stay independent, start your own, like do your own
I'm gonna
thing?
be
And
independent no matter what. All
Yeah.
of it is gonna be independent. Like I said, if I ever sign whatever type of contracts I sign, I just want to be partnered with whoever
Yeah.
is offering me a
That's a smart
contract,
way.
so that I can move forward. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
But like, I don't want to remain locked down to somebody on a contract where they are my boss.
Yeah.
For what? I haven't worked in like 10 years almost. Is that I'm not gonna go back to working for somebody else.
Yeah.
No matter what it is, like, you know what I'm saying, this is my art. I know my value of my own shit, and I'll build my own value the same way we're building our own value with Seven Tribes.
Yeah, like after you're your own boss, like after you work for yourself and you make, like, you have your own brand, you have your own stuff, you don't want to work for nobody else.
To be honest, I'm sure that like we already accomplished things, but like
Yeah.
the more we do for ourselves and the more we show our worth and our value, they're just gonna come knocking later when everything's established and everything's good. You know what I'm saying? So it's like at that point, leverage.
Smart. Play the game. You're gonna already be like 10 steps ahead type thing.
But and in all reality, like none of that shit is gonna affect the music, or nor does it matter, because the music is gonna keep dropping and keep coming out, no matter whether there's a contract involved or money involved or like labels or anything. The music's still gonna keep dropping. It's still gonna keep coming out, because it's not about that. It was never about that. It was always about expressing ourselves, talking the truth, reality. You know what I'm saying? Healing spiritually, mentally, physically, changing our realities for the better. That's what it's really about, to be honest. So if we could just inspire people to like express themselves in a healthy way, that's gonna help their mind grow and their life grow, then that's what we're trying to do.
No, I definitely
All that
want.
other shit is just like, all right, cool, we get capital, we're just gonna do more of what we're doing at a higher level. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. It's just like a plus.
To reach more people.
Exactly. Make it work for you type thing. I definitely want to let you know it is inspiring, like the stuff that you do. Do you think that you want to do like other things, like maybe movies or like acting or something besides music?
Yeah, all of it, all of that. Movies, acting, shows, plays. I want to produce my own shows. I want to make my own beats. I want to make my own TV shows, my own movies, and produce everything myself.
That'd be cool. I think that'll be
But it'd
dope.
be dope to also collab and partner with
Yeah,
people who are dope creators to be able to create something amazing that's like world changing. You know what I'm saying? Saul Williams is one of those people. Like, yo, he creates something. He does it by himself, independently, self sufficiently. He just dropped a movie. You know what I'm saying? That movie is in the theater. You know what I'm saying? He independently put. That's the type of thing that I'm talking about.
that's that's big. Independent in the movie theater.
Neptune Frost.
Neptune Frost.
Yeah,
That's dope.
he filmed that in Africa. Things like that. Being able to control your own destiny, control your own artwork, your creativity, where it goes, how it goes out, where you want to put it. That part.
Yeah, like it's deeper than just music. It's like art. Like it's
It's not like art. It is the artists are creating the world.
yeah, I did notice like every like when I'm watching your videos, I'm like, yo, like he put mad thought into these videos. Like it's not just like get a camera and just shoot stuff. Like I could tell like you had like a screenwrite, like you really put thought into it, and I think it's dope. I think it's like your
I
whole
like to write though. I've always been a writer.
I could tell that
Even when I was
you're
in
writing
school,
that out.
like I was bad in every other subject except for English and art. So it's like I write a lot. I write stories. I write poems. I write music. I write all types of things. So like I have ideas. Sometimes I have a vision and I have to create the song to the vision. Or sometimes I have a song and then I gotta create a vision to the song. But I can see something and that's what I like to put out. You know what I'm saying?
I did notice that you do have some songs that are like rock, hip
Yeah,
hop.
yeah. Oh
Are
yeah,
we
but
gonna hear more of that?
yeah, hell yeah, for sure. I mean, I was influenced by rock heavy at an early age. I mean, at super early age. My cousins did. They have a they had a heavy metal band. One of my cousins still does it. You know what I'm saying? But they had the band right in the back room where I slept.
Oh,
So like I slept in this room. The next room over was the studio, and they were up one night rocking
oh
out. You know what I'm trying to
man.
say? But influenced by that heavily. My dad was more into like hip hop. He put me on to like Wu Tang, um, Nas, Outkast, Melly Mel,
My
Grandmaster
favorite.
Flash, Furious Five. I used to
Favorite.
record them shits on like cassette on the radio and shit.
And like rock it back and just rock out.
Word. I feel like Melly Mel is one of my favorite lyricists
That was one of my questions too. Like,
because he
what?
don't waste no word,
Who's your
no
favorite
words.
of all time?
I don't have a favorite of all time, but I got a group of artists that like are very inspiring. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them. There's a lot of dope artists that existed that changed reality for me. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up. I feel like we all get inspired. What inspires you?
What inspires me?
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean,
What do you do to get inspired? Like we're like, yo, I'm clouded. I need to get
oh,
away.
you
Like
mean
what do you
like
do
what type of routine I have when I'm
Yeah.
gonna create?
Yeah.
I don't know, yo. To be honest, I like to just like sit back and relax. I like to dim the lights. I like to maybe like smoke. I like smoke and then maybe have a drink or something, and like sit down and zone out and listen to the beat really really loud by myself because I don't want nobody else in the studio and shit. I like to just like zone out. That's like my preference when it comes to like sitting down and recording and getting into the zone and shit. Really low lights, little drink, smooth shit.
Facts. I'm the same way. I like roll like two blunts and I like turn the lights
Because when
off
the
in my
homies
room.
are around and all of that, I feel like the
Keep them
energy's high, and I'm like, yo, put on a beat.
Yeah.
We're gonna get some high energy shit going on. You know what I'm saying?
It depends on the vibe, right?
Yeah.
I feel like everyone has a different creative process. It's pretty cool, but I feel like
Yeah, it
that
depends. To be honest, sometimes I freestyle, sometimes I write, sometimes I freestyle and write.
it depends on like what you got going on, what the vibe is, who's around, what's around you.
Yeah, I'm big on energy. To be honest, like
Yeah.
whatever it feels like is how things usually go. Even when I'm on stage, when I'm performing, it's like energy. Like, what's the energy like here? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could feel.
I,
shit
I I
sometimes.
bring like a bunch of songs and I just pick songs. I'm like, damn, what's the energy like here? Alright, cool. I'm gonna do these 5 songs. what I'm saying? Because
That's
that's what the
important.
energy was like for me. You know what I'm saying?
Read the room.
Yeah.
That's important because not everybody knows how to do that. So it could be a hit or miss. Like if you don't know how to read the room or if you don't have like that spider sense.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have it in the beginning. I was just like, yo, we're gonna go crazy when we first started. It was like, yo, 2012, we were just gonna get
How
off stage and start wilding. I was like, fuck it. But over time, I was just like, all right, cool. I gotta really like figure this out because you play the wrong music in the wrong room and you're gonna get the opposite feedback from what you want.
Yeah, that's true. It's very important to know your crowd, right?
A word.
Right? Because
Yeah, your
that
audience
could
is
be.
definitely important to know.
And don't you thank goodness we're right there. Thank goodness we're right there because isn't don't do you feel the same way I feel? Like it's important to get out there and like perform and like or even get to know like the people that listen to your music personally. Or do you feel like everything should be done like, you should be like kind of ghost as an artist and stay away from being out there?
It depends, to be honest. I feel like if you're just starting and
Mm-hmm.
you're a young artist coming up, I feel like you should do everything and anything in your power to like be at every event, at every show, record as often as possible, shoot as many videos as possible, talk to as many people as possible, network, build, and from there, then you can figure out what it is that you prefer and what works for you and what doesn't, and really like justify that from there. You know what I'm saying?
If you were somebody like let's say Key as a you know starting to rap, starting to do music, what would you like? You know how we say, if I knew then what I know now, like what would you tell him?
When I first came out, what do you mean? What did I tell
Like your
myself?
younger self now, as a old like as a grown man, your younger self starting to do music.
Don't doubt yourself.
I respect that.
Facts. Because
Facts. That's
I spent a lot of time doubting things, ideas, lyrics, thoughts, visions, and it's kind of fuck with the process a little bit when you
yeah.
don't trust yourself like that. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like yo, just trust yourself a little more because everything you did was great already, and everything you're gonna do is great.
Yeah, would you say like doubting yourself? It could give you like writer's block. It could like block your
That shit
creativity.
blocks everything. That shit
Yeah,
blocks your blessings.
like literally, I've
to be to be honest, doubting yourself blocks everything. You won't go nowhere because you don't even believe yourself.
facts. I've gone through myself.
How if you don't believe
Works
yourself, how's
like that.
anybody else gonna believe you?
Nah, for real, it's true.
And not for nothing that it happens. You know what I'm saying? Insecurities, doubt, frustration and shit like that. Life shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, excuse me. You said earlier about like, what is it? Life, mixing life with the music,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like I've had my share of trying to balance my regular life and music, but that was at a time where I didn't realize like, yo, this is my life and this is it. Like, you know what I'm saying? There is no balancing out regular life and music. My music is my regular life. So anything inside here has to understand that. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying?
And it's important like everything around it's like an ecosystem. It's like it's important to like build that ecosystem because
I feel like once I learned that, I stopped letting things interfere with my life in general, not just in music. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah.
nah, this doesn't work for me for what I'm trying to do and where I'm trying to go. So this is not a thing.
And pause right there because I feel like I found myself too in situations where I'm just like, yo, I'm going to a certain way, I'm going a certain route, and this is not going that route, so I just gotta let it go.
What up? I have no
Because
problem letting go of everything. To be
yeah,
honest.
because sometimes it's just like we have to make those hard decisions for ourselves because like where you have to go that way and it's like dead weight.
It happens. I learned that shit from being homeless. It was like, alright, cool. I can't walk around with a wardrobe, a closet, mad sneakers. Nigga, you're fucking homeless. Nigga, you live in the street. You ain't got no travel light,
Yeah.
nothing. Yeah, I used to go buy boxers every day. Hey, I'm gonna go buy a pair of boxers and socks. After I'm done with them, throw them out in the garbage. Start fresh, everything.
That shit can't be easy, yo.
but that taught me lessons. That taught me crazy heavy lessons. You know what I'm saying? Like not to hold on to anything. Otherwise, I would have been more sad and depressed. It's like, yo, alright, cool. You got to be okay with things not being there no more. Letting go of things. So
That's important.
it's not so hard for me to let things go. It's like, all right, cool. I don't like if I don't need it right now, it's not something that fuck it, it's cool.
I just I look at situations like this. Like I'd be like, all right, before whatever happened, I was good, right? All right, so I'm gonna be good after that. That's how like I just erase things out of my brain, even though that's bad. I just feel like it's just delete, like backspace, delete it. Like I next like it's like a defense mechanism. Everyone's different, but I just feel like once again, it's all about perspective. It's all about having good energy around support, right? Um, would you say like you have a good support system around you, right? Like you
Yeah,
have
I
a,
do, I do.
you know what I mean? And I feel like that's
I
important.
also see a lot of people complain that they don't have no support system. And it was like, to be honest, that's not the right way to go either. I remember doing things like that when I was younger, and it pushed a lot of people away. To be honest, like why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, and then it made me think about it. It's like, what's the point? What was the purpose? Why do I feel like that? You know what I'm saying? That was very insecure, to be honest, and very juvenile and young of me to feel like that. And I feel like I watch a lot of people do that on the internet, and I be trying to tell them like, yo, chill, don't do that. You're gonna shoot yourself in the foot, because that's not, it's off putting. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't really even need to be that pressed about who's supporting you or not. You should just be doing it because it's what you wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Whoever supports, supports. Whoever don't, and that's fine too. That's okay, and they still love you. Like, I can't explain that any more than that, but you shouldn't be so pressed about it. I'm not pressed about it.
It's the seeking of the validation. That's what it is. It's the seeking of the
I get
validation.
it too though,
You
because
know,
sometimes it feels like, damn,
and
nobody cares and shit like that.
yeah,
But it's like, nigga, do you care? If you
does
care
it
and
matter
you
to
love
you?
it, and if and fuck it, yo, you know what I'm saying? And not to be mad at nobody else either, and be like, damn, this motherfucker not supporting me. It's like, nah, bro, maybe they don't like your music. They still love you, that's your boy, but maybe you don't like the music. Yo.
But
You like
that's
selling
okay.
music.
That should
Yeah,
be
that is
okay,
okay.
right?
It's super okay, to be honest. If you don't like my music, you don't have to. We have different tastes in music.
Listen, I have friends that don't repost my pods and stuff like that, or
It
don't
don't
really
matter.
don't come to anything that I invite them to, or always flake or whatever. But it is what it is. We're busy. We're adults. I understand life happens. I'm one of those friends that I'm cool, but not everybody like that. I've had people that like, oh, you're always busy. F you, block.
You know what it is,
All right,
really?
thank you. You
It's
did
kind
me a
of
favor.
it's kind of really just like
You said
reflects on
that.
the perception and the mentality, to be honest.
It is juvenile, like you said. It is immature to expect people to support you like wholeheartedly. Like it's okay if your friend doesn't like what you do, like, or doesn't like your music, like, or in my case doesn't like my podcast. Like I shouldn't be offended by that as their personal opinion. Like they're entitled to that. They're a human
That's
being,
fine.
right?
But you know what it
But
is too, is that the perception be more focused on the negative than the positive. It's like, yo, you're worried about people that are not tuning in. How about the people that are? You're
mm-hmm.
neglecting the people that are because you're focusing on the people that aren't. And I don't know why, but that'll kind of like affect a lot heavily.
And like
That's
this,
like having a friend that like you don't want to fuck with, and a friend that loves you, and a friend that treats you bad, and you're always fucking chilling with the friend that treats you bad or mistreats you, and then you're like, damn, I'm upset. But then you got a friend that loves you over here, and you're just neglecting it. So you know what I'm saying? It's like, why are you always over here, but you don't like to be over here?
that friend is just
When you
not
could
good.
be over here and
Yeah,
be at peace with somebody who understands. So it's like, that's a personal choice to like keep focusing on things that don't matter, to be honest, and
there's
people that don't matter.
that is
There's a lot of
facts.
people that love and support and really want to see some positive, progressive shit, and you can't give it if you're focusing on the other shit.
That's why when I see things like that on the internet, I see it all the time. Like,
It
oh,
happens, bro. It
I
happens
see
to me.
dudes posting this, posting that, but don't post my stuff XYZ. Anyway, when I see that, I just kind of like don't say anything, but I think the same thing. I just like, damn, like if they weren't so focused on, like, there's strangers out there that will support your stuff. Like people will support. You just have to like network, promote your stuff, like put in that work, put in that footwork, like meet people, like but not everybody has like the same work ethic, or just people out there that just do things for like shock value, rather get views that way. Everybody
There's
has their
talent.
own hustle, right?
There's
Or whatever.
talented artists, and then there's clout artists.
Exactly. There's a big difference.
Yeah, I fuck with the talent,
Fuck with the talent too.
and that's just talent.
It's
It's
important.
it's more like it's talent, it's skill, it's love, and using your creativity for the right reasons. You know what I'm saying?
That's what it's about, using your creativity for the right reasons. And talking about using your creativity for the right reasons, we're gonna go into the second song, which is The World Is Strung Out, and we'll be right back.
That we never truly satisfied. I keep walking with this weight on me. Said I know how you feel inside. But swear that love is really all we need. Don't mind cry no more. We done put it pen and had it down for the start. Oh, because you really know it's all for the heart. All for the heart. All for the heart.
What's done is done, you cannot rewind. Should've paid attention to the signs, they wouldn't be surprised. Stressing wouldn't eat the mind, blessings wouldn't seem decline. These are times you need to reach inside, then find the strength to rise. Check it, the kids been dying using fentanyl. Swear that lately people going crazy, not aware at all. Sometimes I wonder if we love ourselves. Bunch of brothers stuck in cells, my uncle spent his life mostly stuck in jail. Check it, 2 deaths, 2 overdoses in the same month. Been losing all the ones that's closest. Grew up amongst the roaches, trying to get a steady grip, but we keep losing focus. Trauma creep beneath the surface. Check it. Said I hope you don't relate. There's more than pain.
Am I allowed to ask about this new stuff?
What new stuff? Talk to me about it. What are we talking about?
Your new music that's coming out, that's playing on this pod. Am I allowed to talk about it?
Of course.
Okay.
The Anteku tapes.
On Take You?
Anteku.
On Take You? On
Yeah.
Take You.
Yeah.
On Take You.
Anteku meaning harmony zone, the peaceful ward. For those who watch anime, for those who watch anime, Anteku, the Anteku was a cafe, a coffee shop in Tokyo Ghoul. Is one of my favorite anime, but I chose that as the name for the studio that I used to have, which we're gonna rebuild. But I made it for all the people that are outcasted from society, that society looks at us like we are strange or not what society expects us to be. We gather here and we come together with unity and love. That's what Anteku is about. So I'm dropping these Anteku tapes, volume 1, 2, and 3. Volume 1 is coming out first, and it's just gonna really be in tune with the mentality and the perception of what we've been living for years, you know what I'm saying? And what people be faking. So
Yeah.
Anteku tapes, volume 1 coming soon, you know what I'm saying?
The streets haven't heard anything like it.
7 Tribes coming soon, you know. October. We're gonna drop the 7 Tribes tape in October. We're gonna do an anniversary of Seeking Balance. Seeking Balance was our first tape. We dropped October 22nd, I believe. So we're gonna drop the new tape on that date. But we got some music coming out before that, videos and things like that.
This is so dope, yo. Like, I think I'm so excited for you. Like, I can't wait to see
I'm
like
excited,
all of
to
this
be
stuff
honest,
come
because
out. Like,
I haven't
I'm
chilled
gonna
with
be
my
tapped
brothers in a while.
Like,
being able to link with the brothers and like work on music again, like
how's that feeling? Like, how
it's
does
great
that
because we
feel?
haven't really like linked together, built in a couple years. It's been
Yeah.
like 5-6 years where we haven't really been in tune with each other like that because we've been exploring other opportunities individually. So now that we can come back together and recreate, or not recreate, do something new with the energy that we already built, you know what I'm saying? It feels amazing. We have like a chemistry that'll never go nowhere, and I promise you, I've never seen no chemistry with no other crew ever in the history of hip hop or anything in the world. To be honest with you, how many people are still together and don't have no problems with each other? You know what I'm saying? And
Not a
never
lot.
had no real problems with each other. We went our separate ways to pursue other opportunities, but never had beef or war.
That's actually unheard of, because most people that separate
Never.
from one another is because they like have some kind of like animosity, even if it's
No,
not beef,
we've had disagreements and things like
Yeah.
that, but we never hated each other. We never had war with each other. We never had to like disrespect each other. It's always been love. We know how to communicate with each other. That's different. A lot of people don't know how to communicate with each other. Nobody's just following me. I'm not. None of us are just following Live Higher. None of us are just. Nobody follows nobody. We are our own individual soldiers and kings of our own castles. And when we come together, we operate as such. You know what I'm saying? So you got a bunch of leaders on the team. There's the dream team.
It's gonna be a vibe. I can't wait. I'm excited to hear it. And I know, like, even though we do have some music that's playing on the podcast, I know, like, you're gonna be talking some shit on there. Like,
Yeah.
I
Oh,
know.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like my best verses that I've ever dropped in my life are on the Seven Tribes project. So I'm super excited to like for that shit to drop.
Is it
It's
safe?
gonna hit people different
Is
from my
this
solo projects.
is it safe to say that this is some of your best work that's
No,
coming?
100%. Everything that's about to come out is some of my best shit that I've ever done for the past 10 years. And if you liked anything for the past 10 years, so just expect something great.
Yo,
To be
guys,
honest, and I'm not gonna
tap
be humble
in.
about it either because that's what it was in the past. It was like, oh, be calm, be humble. Nah, and we great, we're amazing, and we're about to drop some legendary shit.
These are like, there's a lot of things that people don't see, and like those are like
Yeah,
you.
bro, we went through wars to be here. We had a fight. We went through shit that nobody else has to go through, and it's like, all right, cool. Since we got to go through all this, we're gonna make it happen, and we're gonna shine on our own shit, and we're not gonna extend our arms to nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like we got our own shit going on, so don't. You know what I'm saying? Don't go backwards on how you felt before.
What brought you? What would you say that brought y'all back together? Like, what was the spark that brought y'all back together? Like, even
It
though
was.
you
It
said
was
that
not. It was never like a get
separated.
back together. Yeah, because
Yeah,
bros,
but like,
we were just
let's do
pursuing
this
opportunities
project.
and really getting money right and handling responsibilities
Yeah.
in life and shit that motherfuckers slack on, so they be bums their whole life. But we was focusing on real life shit. So when we come together, it was really we had been working on songs. We've been working on songs for like past 2-3 years, but really slowly. Then Eric the Red started working on his project. I was working on my project at the same exact time. Live Higher came back from Cali. You know what I'm saying? Ralph Bakes pulled up. He was working on some new shit himself. He had dropped Cold Rice. So we were really all rolling with something. We had a ball rolling individually. Plus we was linking up together all the time now again because we handled life shit first. Then we got to sit down with each other with no distractions bothering us, record our music, let it build over time, and really be calculated about how we feel about it. Cause this shit is easy to us, bro. This shit is natural. We go in there and we link, and it's like if we never separated.
It's like you
Not
press
even for a
resume
second.
again or press
Yup.
play again.
Back
Like,
at it. And not for nothing, like I
regular,
said,
like-
my verses on the Seven Tribes album were so much crazier than my solo albums. And it's because I'm around my brothers, you know what I'm saying? So I know, like, oh shit, I got these brothers, they're gonna go crazy. I gotta go crazy. So I go crazy.
And just like you said, the
You know what I'm
energy that's
saying?
around.
Exactly, energy.
So you got your brothers around. You got that turned up energy. Like, you ready to bring it. Like, that's what it
Bro,
feels like.
to be honest, like I look around now and I see a lot of shows, I see a lot of events, I see a lot of artists, I see groups, I see even groups. There's a group that I don't even want to say their name, but their name is a ripoff for our name. You know what I'm saying? We Seven Tribes. There's no other seven, nothing. It's 0707 Tribes. That's the only sevens you're gonna hear. Everything else besides that is false advertisement. You know what I'm saying?
You heard it here first.
Nah, that's a fact. And it's like, but all right, cool. I see the influence and the inspiration, but I don't, it's like
Sometimes people are so
we
inspired, they
move in
wanna
a, we
have the
move in a
same name.
different way. We move in a different
Yeah.
way, and if you're not family, you're not family. We got a family, and we're doing our own thing our way, and get out the way.
Facts. Just get out the way. Like, it's like a fucking bulldozer coming. Like, move.
It's a fact.
bitch. Get out the way. Nah, for real. Like, it's facts though. Like, but I feel like that would people sometimes they get inspired the wrong way. I feel
guess.
like people get inspired
It's all
the
good.
wrong way and like they just start copying stuff and they feel
Nah,
like
it's all
cool,
good.
but
I have,
swag.
I
But
sometimes the
just wanna put
juvenile
that
in
out.
me comes out, and I want to like act like
Yeah.
a juvenile.
oh,
but
what?
I can't act like that.
Listen.
So we're gonna level up, and we're gonna keep moving forward, and we're gonna show love to everybody and show appreciation, and we're gonna involve the community, and we're gonna uplift the community, and we're gonna change the situation that's going on this planet.
Yeah, I would say the same thing actually. What's some things that you would give advice to the youth about?
Believe in yourself. Don't doubt yourself. When somebody tells you that they're not gonna leave this opportunity open for you, it don't matter. Go open your own opportunities. You could do everything yourself. Not just yourself individually. I'm talking about with your family and your team. You know what I'm saying? Get your shit in order, and don't rely on outside sources to try to put you in a position to be anywhere. figure it out on your own. Do your research. Get your hands dirty. Hit the streets and do what you got to do. Don't let nobody stop you, not even yourself, because that doubt will stop you from doing what you got to do.
Don't overthink, right?
Overthinking is a common thing with creatives, though. Like, what we do is think. All we do is think. We think all day. You just gotta learn when to, like, pause. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, cool, this is good enough. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we keep going and going and going and going. You gotta learn how to stop and move on.
I agree. Well, I just want to thank you for coming on the pod. I want to thank you for sharing your unreleased music, which is gonna release. But you know what I mean? Like, I want to thank you for sharing your art with us. I wanna thank you for real, like, because I did listen to you guys. Like, I listened to Seven Tribe. I listened to you. Like, this is like a full circle moment type thing. So I want to thank you for coming on, for real.
This whole thing was a learning experience. The whole musical journey, the life journey, this podcast, everything that we do, every time I do an interview or I create a song, it's all a learning experience, and it teaches me something about myself and the people I'm around every single day. So, like, for me, just expect to, like, keep witnessing growth and change, because I'm always going to keep growing and changing.
So do you want to tell everybody where they can follow you and plug in all your merch and your website and everything?
Ki-Bohiti.com, 7tribes.com, Ki_BOHITI on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Everything is all the same. Ki-Bohiti. Ki-Bohiti.com, 7tribes.com. Make sure you tap in.
You already know, guys. This is Ki-Bohiti. I'm Sabrosa, Steph, whatever the fuck you want to call me. We're on the Sabrosa podcast. We got another song for y'all called Getaway. We also got a performance for y'all, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I appreciate you so much. Y'all already know.
Nothing but love.
Peace.
Bless.
Hey, said there's so much I could say, try to put it in my rhymes. Yo, it helped me deal with pain. Said it's been so many times that I almost went insane, but I always overcome every instance that I face. Yeah, I've been down bad, got up, then I got right back. I ain't worried about a thing, yeah, it's just like that. What? Yeah, self-made independent artist. Said fuck a deal, I'm around regardless. One of the illest Jersey rap artists. No major cosigns or label reps. Said they mention my name right there amongst the vets. What? Check it, yeah. I ain't new to this, my presence vital. They come at me, you must be suicidal. They entertain, finna snatch your title. We ain't the same, you repeating cycles. Those mistakes got you going cycle. Said I've been speaking for the kids that never had shit but still manage. Keep on going even though they damaged.
Yo, 7 Tribes, Lord and Lords. Sabrosa podcast. We live and direct, big ass for shit, you know what I'm saying? Jersey. What? Check it. Can't keep me quiet, shit, I've been talking reckless. I petrify the skeptics, can't understand my methods. How I sustain but self-sufficiency define my presence. I swear these times are precious. I had to throw my own shows, I ain't on no one's guest list. And won't promote their venues. Independently, I showed them that we something special. Check it, I swear I couldn't even book a session. These are the true confessions. I had to do this shit myself and learn some valid lessons. Proceed through all the stressing. I improvise instead of life throughout the strain and pressure. Check it, hey yo, you gotta get your shit together. What? Don't listen to your playlist, I skip that rotation. It's been the same songs, I don't tune into them stations. I kick that shit live, raw shit while they fake it. I kick that shit live, raw shit while they fake it.